Good morning. This is Divine Sunshine on my morning drive. Today's message is to know is to have freedom, is to gain freedom. This is continue on with the series of understanding the principles, the basic principles for union, and then also the basic principles and keys needed in order for this journey to have success, enlightenment, and to really gain that true union with self. Earned, never given, which is earned, never given. That union. So that's not something. I'm glad they brought that up. Ooh, the fire truck. That's divine. All right, Ralphie, I heard you. Divine truth. 3 things. Say amen, amen, amen. Ralphie said, "It's never given." That's a good one. Now go on, powers that be. I like that. This really is. It's never given. It's earned. Which means we got to put in the work. Which means that we got to truly have a knowledge and knowing as to where we want to do. We can ask. I see there they got ask on there 198, which means to have the intuition, the awareness. We ask for the ending of cycles, and we ask for it to actually have harmony. But we also, I told you all before, we got to have this true knowledge and knowing as to several things. Who is our identity? Where we want to really actually go in doing this, and know how we want to go about gaining it and obtaining it. It brought to me this morning. I watched Jupiter 1111's thing this last night. I came in on the last tail end of it. My eyes itching. That means, I guess it's saying how we really seeing it through the divine masculine lens on things. That's what it's bringing to me. Don't put no eyelash in my eye because I'm driving. The lens of things, and so that's really the divine master. That's its side that was doing the itching, like really obtaining and understanding it. Okay, and then the divine master sent me I call it the bat signal to let me know he's thinking too. 188. So the divine masculine is going really through this one, intuition and awareness. Double 8, which is double portion, trying to work with that energy to make it work. I told you 8 to me is also harmony, and also regeneration of things, like something that's died and trying to give birth to something new. So in order for that to happen, the divine masculine understands that he's got to end something to begin something. Now, is he making the movement? Now he's showing me 599. Say 3 days. Oh, wait a second. So in 3 days, something is going on with them. 5, there's going to be a change in and of a cycle, ending a cycle. That's double proportions of endings of a cycle. And a 1 and 99 together added up to 8 is that. So he's knowing this. Now, how is it going to show up and look? I don't know if it's going to be as drastic as some of us saying, like, he's going to get up and leave the third-party energies, or he's going to leave the karmic. Who knows if that's what's going to happen, but he just told me, my divine masculine signaled to me through, I call it the bat symbol, that he shows up there like dire straight, that he's doing that. On this journey, I want to make sure that I emphasize it is different for everybody. There's no cookie cutter way or a template or an actual plan that, you know, what resonates for me might not resonate for Jupiter 1111, may not resonate a noose. Oh snap. Now somebody say a noose. So it's almost like a noose around their necks. Whatever it is, they want to release that. They got the bulls. So the bull is, they got to become that stubbornness. I see a bull. Releasing the stubbornness that's been like a noose around their neck to not release the situations that they're actually in. Okay, so I'm channeling at the top and sprinkling in between. So I was listening to also some of the divine masculines. I'll go where they tell me to. I know I got to set where I want to go, but I have to be obedient to spirit too. Some of the divine masculines, maybe you might not have seen them in a while or not have been with your while. If this is your divine masculine you haven't seen in a while, he really wants to come out here like fools rush in, like that fool's journey, to take this really leap like the fool's card, and really have one foot from the past, being nostalgic about some things, but then also want to have forward movement. And they really want to just kind of really sweep you off your feet, because they saying they really coming from this masculine that I'm picking up is coming from a place that he's really said that I know what I want now. It's not like it's an act. Oh, all right, you better give me the script this morning. It's not an act about what it 147, which means he's putting action. Now when I see the numbers 147, that means some actions is put into place. Some action needs to be put in place about what's going on. You on the part is divine feminine too, as well. So my thing is that this man, he might be kind of low. It might be young and it might be old. It runs the gamut. I say older, like maybe this person is like in their 40s. This DM's like 40s to maybe about 50, 60. It's a group of them that's in that. If your masculine is like 40, 50 ish, yeah, they put in action, because I'm seeing 174 in different ways. They take in different ways that they want to take action. And 147, that's my action number that says it's time to take action, because that's intuition, that's being grounded, and the number 4 and 7, which spiritual completion. So that's a real power pack numbers sequence together. No matter how the sequence of it, that's what it is. Understanding that that's what they want. So whoever this masculine, if you're masculine, they're telling me it's a group of them between 40 all the way. This is like an old dog, like they done been there. Some of y'all say, yeah, he old, but he an old fool. But watch it, divine feminine. But they said, they didn't had a couple of hard knocks here, that they at the point that they saying they might know what they want to do. They understand that this karmic situation has been like a handicap that's handicapped them to it, although they feel like it's going to go on for infinity. But they understanding that they want this union, this coming together, unity with this God force is pushing them behind them actually where they need to actually go. Okay, now I know this a lot, because they done opened this up here, and we done recreated this Eisenhower connection to we don't do this no more. This is like back in the day stuff. And so that's something that you have to kind of bring in mind. So I'm channeling it. So just bear with me if it sounds like it's at random, but it's not. There's a purpose, because they keep sending me, I call cue cards as I'm driving. And I'm gonna have to sit back and watch this back over again, because it's got some good stuff in it. So my thing is understanding to know exactly what it is. Everybody's walk is different. I listened to Jupiter 11 last night, and some of you all are staying in the journey, regardless, because of, you thinking that that's your only person that will love you is your divine counterpart. I sent those of you all that signed up for the email subscription, I told you when I gave you that prayer, the lady says at the beginning that, and so it's a trigger alert, so if you don't want to hear this, I'll say close your eyes. And then when I do like this, or you want to fast forward, that means you could come back. So there's a point that if your divine masculine does not get itself together, God has automatically, I call it that loner. So let's say again, like I said on this thing here, where you waiting on your car to be repaired. Hold on one second. I don't mean come back. You waiting on your car to be repaired, which would be the divine masculine, wherever he's doing and what they doing with him to work. And you got that loner going on with life, doing what you're supposed to be doing, your mission and your purpose. And you wait for them to call you that phone call, like I told you, for them to come and say, you can come back and get your car. Your DM is ready, because I told you about the dealership and how they had did that with me. And then you can get them. Now you might get a phone call from the dealership, which would be the powers to be, said, you know what, we looked, It ain't really worth it for us to do that. Let's kind of make a deal so we can look and get you in another car. Let's look at what you have already put in financial, and let's see if we can get you in either a better car that's more functioning. And you might find out, you sit there at the dealership and you like, hey, them payments is lower than what I was paying for the car, and I'm getting a newer model, and I'm paying the same, or you paying the same payments, or you either paying better. And you walking out there with a new model. So you had a 2011, and they say, well, right now we ain't got nothing. What we do is we work it out. You end up here with a 2014 or 2015. That's what we do. You're like, hey, I do the math. That's better than what I was driving, and it's got more functions in it. So you don't never know how the powers that be might bless you. It doesn't have to always be in the form of another person. It doesn't have to always be in the form of it could be love in other ways, or love for a job that you had that you didn't like, and all of a sudden you get offered this better job, better paid, maybe a relocation to a place that you say, you know what, I always wanted to get back to. Wanted to get back there to Atlanta. Oh my God, here it is. I'm in Atlanta, and they said they're gonna give me relocation, and they're gonna throw in a housing, and I can get that house that I seen on YouTube. Oh my God, this is love. This is the love for self. I'm in my bliss. I'm in my heaven. I ain't got to deal with Chicago weather no more. Now I got warm weather now. So you don't never know. Lord have mercy. Now what is this? Whatever it is, let it be temporary. And so you don't never know how the universe is going to show up through you. Now, it might be like some of you all, the course is for you. Now you can come back. You come back. Now the course might be for you to continue on doing what you're doing. But I call it now is for you to just go ahead and to just orbit. Okay, so now we up there. We rubbernecking. Hold on a second. We seeing some kind of accident or something that happened here. Something that happened here. They got all this police and fire trucks and everything going on here. We try to see from here what's going on. I'm looking too. I ain't gonna lie. Okay, so now we can go on. That's their issue. That's almost like how we are in life. We looking, that ain't got nothing to really do with us. We looking and seeing about what everybody else is doing, what their journey is on the twin flame, and that really ain't that ain't our script nor our story. I just preach. But yeah, so some of us, the spirit brought to me, and said it's like orbiting. I'm now at the point with my divine masculine, or my guy. I've said, let me talk both ways too. Divine masculine, 5D, and keep it physical. Bring it down to the 3D, which is my guy. Because he's got two, like Superman, two things. He's up there, he's ethereal, but then I also got to deal with the masculine himself. My guy as well. Key with us, we're not at this point. What we're doing is, I'm the sun, I feel, spirit brought to me, and he's the earth, and he's just orbiting around. Right now, I am the spotlight. He's orbiting around me instead of me doing the opposite. But I was having that naked talk truth that I had with Tim, letting him know about how I feel about the whole situation. It released him from him not having expectations about what's going on, and it released me to have expectations too, as well as how to show up, to act a certain way or whatever. And I was like, I'm not at that point that right now with you being in a situation like that, I can't keep on kind of fully committing and going on as if that energy does not exist. And you've got to go and kind of handle that other energy as well, because I can't keep on us swirling, and there's three of us orbiting, just like out there in space. I see NASA on somebody's car, which gave me confirmation that I was right. Then, out of this other body that don't belong there that's orbiting, we have a thing that it might collide and clash. And I'm like, no, that's that energy. And a lot of also you'll find out too that they're kind of pulling on your energy as well. So it's like we trying to ascend, but you got this other weight. And I was like, you got to kind of let that go. And me too as well. There's some things also in the mirroring aspect. Again, I've said that. Jupiter 1111 has said that. I'm mirroring like in the mirror. I have my right hand up, they have their left hand. That stuff shows up in different various ways. But at the same time, at the end of the day, it's your reflection that you're looking at in the mirror. It don't matter whichever way it is that is going on. It's you that's got to get that together. And that's why I said, doing good. Just like I said about the sun, I am the sun. The universe revolves around me as the sun. I'm not divine sunshine just because it's cute and he called me that. And that's also because that's my pen name on here. That is divine feminines. That's who we are. We all are the sunshine and divine, finding our divinity. And they revolve around us, our things, in the feminine energies. We, in doing that, just like me being the sun, I have to also, in this connection, have to be a model for the divine masculine. You have to remember, again, I know some of you all have kind of watched the divine masculine in a way. I told you I am a divine masculine advocate. Why? Because I have gotten to the point and understanding me that I house both energies. I cannot. In some days, yes. Does my thinking get on my nerves? Yes. Do I feel emotionally? I wish that my thinking would get on board with this journey and understand the value of what he's bringing to the table, what I'm bringing to the table, and stop having this doubt and saying, no, it can't happen, and having issues with manifesting things into the physical. Yes, that's the same thing that it was going in, so within, so without is the same issues that we're having with the divine masculine on the outside. Why you can't get on board with this? Why you keep on thinking about the past? Why you keep on going back and thinking about the experiences of what had happened? Be truthful with yourself. You know you have that same inner challenge or conflict that's going on with you. He's nothing but a mirror of what is going on with you inside. Now, if that part of you that he's showing in some of those things, yes, you have mastered, and that's where I got with the divine masculine. And I told him, listen, I didn't already cover that. I'm not going to keep on now. That's one thing about me. And maybe that's the Aries fire. Aries do not like to repeat crap over again. I'm sorry. We ain't going to do it. That's it. Like I told something happened then. I said this one time. That's it. Oh, yeah. I had an incident that they had. I did through Spot Hero. And I think I told you about that. And I picked the wrong time, and the thing expired for me for the parking spot, and ended up they had me locked up in the lot. I wasn't the only one, and then I had to end up doing the rhythm gauge, driving all up on the sidewalk, all up into the all up in the grass, because thank God they had like a little opening I could go around that gate. Yeah, I'm telling on myself. Go around that gate so that I can get out of there. I wasn't the only one that was in trouble like that. We all thought that the concert that I went to and I bought the parking spot was going to let us out. I was like, okay, that's it. So when we went to the McNealy thing, I was cracking up laughing. The man looked at my ticket and he was like, oh, you got this, like you going to get out of here at 12 midnight. He's like, the show is over at like 9:30. And then I was like, yeah. Okay, powers that be. Now, you see me, I was trying to get here. What is this? And so then I was like, yeah, I was trying to, I'm going to make sure that don't happen again. I was like, yeah, I see you made sure you didn't make it happen again. I said, no, we ain't painting the town to no 12:30, no midnight. And I said, I got mine with me. That ain't going to happen. So he cracked up and laughing about that. So I said, you ain't got to worry. We'll be here before 12:30. Whenever it's over, we'll be back. So that's the same thing. We get to that understanding that, it don't have to happen but just one time. That's it. Get the lesson, get the blessing, and check on out. But at the same time, with the divine masculines, if that's where you at and you saying, okay, I've been through this over again, I've been through this again, and we keep on doing the mirroring act, and you still there where you are, and at this point it's hurt me in the process. Yes, by all means, get to stepping, get to walking. Don't stay right up in there if it's hurting you and you know this is becoming toxic. It is not for your highest good. However, if you feel that you are at that place, and some of us, like I said, we're at different levels. Where I am now, I see it, but I have been instructed through my guys and my dad. I was cracking up laughing this morning. They was like, my guys was like, finally, we got somebody she'll listen to. We knew if we get that dad on board. I know she wasn't happy about him leaving, which I wasn't. But at the same time, they knew that out of all people, that my dad just got to say one thing or give me a look or something or unsatisfaction. I'll turn myself right on around and say, okay, I got it. I'm listening now. So using that and the guys that help you to get back on there, you'll know right now, like I said, where I'm at and what's been guided to me, I'm not at that point that it was toxic. I told the divine masculine about where it was getting. I told him I couldn't keep on doing that. My body was showing up and telling me I can't keep on with the relationship and the dynamics that it is. Something had to die, okay? So we decided together that we will recreate the relationships and the dynamic in a different way. We're taking it day by day. We're not looking for a long haul. We're living in the now. Him and I have that understanding about that. If one day, whatever I decide to say, okay, you know, this is it. I want to float on and go wherever it is to someplace else, or somebody's been guided and directed. He's understanding that's the dynamics right now. I'm here. I have been instructed to take a more nurturing, like a mothering, like a role model role with him. Showing him, not just cramming it down his throat, but just through examples of why spirit and the powers that be, and my dad has told me, you can't right now with your divine masculine kind of just abandon him like that. He's already had abandonment issues in the first place. I told him that, you know, the way maybe how I had did it was wrong. He said he understood how I said it, but he's got point was taken and it had to be said. That lets me know that we both have been doing the work for him to get to that level of maturity and understanding. And even when he does seem like he tried to slide into those old ways, I had to speak to his higher self, say, we already covered that. I'll be damned if we gonna do that. Sometimes you gotta talk to him, say, no, I know I did that work. I've covered that. We're not going to go circle the wagon around that same issue again. So you start showing up the way that I know I've done the work, and I need to see that appear and channel through you. And he gets it together, you know. He has, right? Up until, I do like mine, up until now, until the now we're living in, the day-by-day process, he does recalibrate himself to start showing up in the way that I say, I know I've done the work, and I need to see that. You have to also, some of you are divine feminines, and I will share that. The lady saying the same thing that I had been already channeled and brought to me, the message, the same thing. We've got to, and I said that in one of the morning drives, be more of the mothering and the nurturing spirit. If we come from that understanding that, hey, unconditional, they're going to do mistakes just like a baby. You see your own baby, they do mistakes. You know, I think about April Williams and her son and how she does that, and he cries or whatever. She's like, what's wrong? What's going on? And, you know, and she tries to get him to the process of him thinking about, you know, yeah, why? Like, he's 2 years old, but he goes to the process. Okay, now why? What's going on? Now that boo-boo, you feel. Okay, that's just temporarily. Okay, now, yes, you just feel the pain. This too will pass. This is not something that's going to stay forever. Yes, feel this, that. And, you know, she's talking him through it. And that's the same thing that we had. I'm not saying baby your divine masculine. If he acting a total asshole, it ain't my divine masculine say, tell me, if you acting an asshole, no, don't go up there and take on for that. You know, they gonna do the things, the buck stuff. But I told you yesterday, in order to get that winning thing, some of us got to watch the way we respond and we react to their stuff. We've got to get to a spiritual maturity to the point that when they're doing it, we're like, yeah, I seen it. You acted like a child. You're throwing a tantrum. Okay, when are you finished with it? Okay, now you're finished. Okay, now let's proceed and go on. You'll know when it's just lightweight. You got to kind of come to that understanding when you kind of like the tail end of that cycle of you all's dynamic and relationship, understanding that, we're at that point now. I'm more so here support and you're just orbiting and doing your things right now where you actually are. So I wanted to bring that to you. It's different dynamics. Everybody's not on the same plane. Some of you all, you got to cut the cord. Some of them is like, nah, I done showed you. You still don't get it. Who knows? Maybe like my dad has said, and I told you all before, and the guys at the powers that be had stated that as well. Don't get to the point that, hey, you might find out I tried it that way, divine such a way. That ain't working. I got to tell him deuces. You got to, I can't do this. Hey, who knows if my thing might get to that. But you've got to try a new way. You can't keep on doing the same thing and expect the different results. That's insanity. I've always blowed up. I've always reacted in a certain kind of way. Now I've got to show more of a standing my ground, get into that femininity, which I have always have pretty much met this journey with more so masculine intent. Now you do, I do. You show me bad, I show you bad. That back and forth and kind of energy, which isn't really they doing work down here, which really isn't working. You got to kind of do that unearthing and getting rid of all that stuff. Like I see this construction here about your sidewalk and really choosing the path that actually works for you. So in doing that, you've got to really have that understanding as to where you are. What should I go around the corner somewhere if they doing all this construction? Okay, I'll leave it right here. Somewhere you got to really kind of be, I don't know, I'm kind of getting got instructed to get off of this for some reason, so I'm gonna follow suit. Thank you. Well, what is saying? You got to, I'm parking from my former kid's house there. I hope I remember where I'm parked at. You got to get an understanding that that's where you actually are on this journey. That it's okay. I'm gonna keep on telling you that. Hey, you try different things, you feel it works, you feel it resonates, it feels good to you to do that. But again, like I said, you've got to get to the place that you actually know. And in that knowing, you find actually freedom as to what actually resonates and works for you. Okay, some of us through these common lessons, and I'm feeling also through the divine feminine, we've got to kind of release also these karmic things, these lessons this week. I would say, you know what, it brought to me too, that karmically, this thing ain't ending like the first 3 months. Some of us, it's like a gradual release of some things, and it keeps on bringing me like throughout this year. In order for you to begin something, you got to end something. So some of these karmic things, these lessons, these things that you have been okay with, some jobs, because like me, like right now, with this after school program, this is going to be it with me. I'll talk about that. That's another thing. I might talk about that when I come back to see what there is when on the drive going home. No, because I'm getting my hair done. So I might talk to you there. About that, how this karmic stuff, releasing some of the things that happened to me. I told you all ancestral, and I'll come back and I'll talk about that. So we'll see how the day goes. So until next time, have a sunshine-filled day, stay uplifted, stay motivated, stay ascending. Namaste, namago. Love you.